Shalom, Israel. It's time for another installment of what I like to call Hebrew heroics. And I tell you that because they like to tell you that we've just been taking this enslavement and this captivity. We've just been taking it lying down. Like, okay, we don't fight back. We just weak as hell. And they just overpowered us. And it was just slaves all over the damn place. And they were just able to grab up all these strong Hebrew men and women, the Israelite men and women, and just all these strong Israelite men and women, and just round us together and just take us into slavery and just rape our women anytime they wanted to, and rape us and just take our kids, and we just took it. You know what they like to tell you? That ain't the case. All that stuff wasn't going on as rampant as they like to tell you. Like it's going on now, probably like it was going on then, because we wasn't going for that. They like to tell you them stories about buck breaking, yeah, that they were just stories. We wasn't going for that. They like to tell you them stories that we were just letting them just come to, we was just letting master come in and just take our wife and sleep with her and we just watch. We wasn't going for that. They like to tell you we'll just watch master just take our kids and mistreat them and smack them and do us the same way, and we just took it. It's a lie. We wasn't going for that. Because like I said, a lot of us over here were already free. Some of us came over here in slavery, and just think about this now. They like to make you think the black man was just, the Hebrew man was just weak and was just allowing that kind of shit. We weren't going for that. We were fighting back. And a lot of us would choose death than to live that way. And think about this now. If we're fighting back, which we did, which that crap wasn't happening like that now. I'm telling you now. I got historical documents because I read and research. They weren't just grabbing the strongest black dude on the plantation and buck breaking like they try to, man, that's wasn't happening, dog. They can go on with them lies. They weren't just running up in there doing whatever they wanted to us, and the black man we just sitting back watching. Oh, master, don't do that to us. We weren't doing that. That's why every time they show you a picture of a picture of them lynching one of our brothers and sisters, or of one of our brothers, is always of a little old bitty dude. It ain't never like them NFL football looking dudes. Them dudes was around back then. Them kind of dudes were around back then, but you don't ever see no pictures of them in the cotton field, do you? You don't never see no pictures of them getting lynched. Them 6'8" brothers that's 340, or even brothers like me who's 6 feet, 215. You don't never see no pictures of them lynching them brothers like that, because they wasn't getting their hands on brothers like that. Brothers like that was giving them that work. So you always pick on who you think they're physically weak. And that's what they was doing. That's why every time you see pictures of somebody getting lynched, they didn't lynch one of our queens, one of our princesses, or they lynched one of our smaller statue brothers. Think about it. You'll never see no pictures of them lynching them big old strong brothers, because we weren't going for that. We weren't going for that. And you think we fight back, you think they're going to kill all their slaves, all their property, money they done spent because we fighting back? Nah. So they weren't doing all that. We just did that work like the Most High commanded us to do when he threw us into captivity. We had to do that work. And that was that on that. You come with anything else, majority of the time, you was going to get your ass whooped. Just like now. You run up on me, you're going to get this work. And I'm not afraid. But anyway, this ain't about that. This is about how a lot of us back then, we would choose death other than live like that. Together, black Hebrew man and woman together, strong union that they trying to break, that they don't want to see. That's why they always show our sisters with somebody else on TV and in the media, because they trying to get rid of us. They want us out the picture. But it ain't going to happen, because the Most High said he going to clean this up. You ain't going to be able to stop this union. But anyway, this is Hebrew heroics. You know, this is one of those give me freedom and give me my respect, or you give me death. This is called the Igbo landing mass suicide 1803. Igbos, Hebrews, Israelites. Igbos, that's who they are. Israelites. Now, remember, a lot of us were already over here. Then some of us did have to come over here into slavery, into captivity. But this is the Igbo landing mass suicide, 1803, contributed by Samuel Mamadou. Once again, this is from www.blackpast.org. Great website. Igbo Landing is a historic site at Dunbar Creek in St. Simon's Island, Glenn County, Georgia. In 1803, one of the largest mass suicides of enslaved people, Israelites, took people when Igbo captives, Israelites, from what is now Nigeria, were taken to the Georgia coast. You know why they say it's what is now Nigeria? Because, we got lands over there that used to be called the Kingdom of Judah. We had lands over there that was called Negro land. They just changed the names of everything, though. But anyway, Igbo captives from what is now Nigeria were taken to the Georgia coast. In May 1803, the Igbo and other West African captives arrived in Savannah, Georgia on the slave ship The Wanderer. They were purchased for an average of $100 each by slave merchants John Cooper and Thomas Spalding to be resold to plantations on nearby St. Simon's Island. The chained, enslaved people were packed under deck of a coastal vessel, the York, which would take them to St. Simon's. During the voyage, approximately 75 Igbo slaves, Hebrews, rose in rebellion, took control of the ship, drowned their captors, and in the process caused the grounding of the ship in Dunbar Creek. The sequence of events that occurred next remains unclear. It is known only that the Igbo marched ashore, singing, led by their high chief. Then, at his direction, they walked into the marshy waters of Dunbar Creek, committing mass suicide. Roswell King, a white overseer on the nearby Pierce Butler plantation, wrote the first account of the incident. He and another man, identified only as Captain Patterson, recovered many of the drowned bodies. Apparently, only a subset of the 75 Igbo rebels drowned. 13 bodies were recovered, but others remain missing, and some may have survived the suicide episode, making the actual numbers of deaths uncertain. Regardless of the numbers, the deaths signaled a powerful story of resistance as these captives overwhelmed their captors in a strange land, and many took their own lives rather than remain enslaved in the New World. The Igbo landing gradually took on enormous symbolic importance in local African American folklore. Now, they wouldn't call African Americans back then. Now, the term African American didn't come around until around 1985. But anyway, the mutiny and subsequent suicide by the Igbo people was called by many locals the first freedom march in the history of the United States. Local people claimed that the landing and surrounding marshes in Dunbar Creek, where the Igbo people committed suicide in 1803, were haunted by the souls of the dead Igbo slaves. The story of Igbo, who chose death over slavery, which had long been a part of Gullah folklore, was finally recorded from various oral sources in the 1930s by members of the Federal Writers Project. While many historians for centuries have cast doubt on the Igbo landing mass suicide, suggesting that the entire incident was more legend than fact, the accounts of Roswell King and others provided at the time were verified by post-1980 research, which used modern scientific techniques to reconstruct the episode and confirm the factual basis of the long-standing oral accounts. In September 2002, the St. Simon's African American community organized a 2-day commemoration with events related to Igbo history and a procession to the site of the mass suicide. In September, the St. Simon's African American community, now they call them African Americans, they were remembering their ancestors, the Igbos, Israelites. 75 attendees came from different states across the United States, as well as Nigeria, Brazil, Israelites there too, and Haiti, Israelites there too. The attendees designated the site as a holy ground and called for the souls to be permanently at rest. The Igbo landing is now part of the curriculum for coastal Georgia schools. Once again, this is the Igbo landing mass suicide 1803, contributed by Samuel Mamadou, www.blackpast.org. Look, man, we ain't just weak like that. We ain't just took all this lying down. We the Most High's chosen people. We the most powerful people on the face of the earth. We ain't just took this. We literally ruled this earth up until the Most High imposed this last punishment 400 or 500 years ago. They'll tell you, we rule the earth, and we're gonna rule the earth again. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's cool. Because the ones who worship the Most High Lord God only and trust in Him, He has His elect. But yeah, don't believe that. Because I used to believe that too until Most High started waking me up and opening my eyes and told me to start researching things 15, 16 years ago. Then opened my eyes and told me to get a Bible 3 years ago. And just been downloading information and just touching my spirit ever since then. But yeah, we ain't just weak like that. We ain't just go like that. We ain't no easy win. Yeah, they got us comfortable, just giving us some crumbs of stuff that's already ours. Take it, then give us a little bit back. Give some of us more than the others, so they'll think they better than us, when all of us going through the same thing. But the Most High says when he makes it right, when He restores us all them riches that our brothers and sisters have gotten through wickedness or linking up with the Gentiles to oppress us, He said He gonna bust their head. So you better get it right. But yeah, Hebrew heroics, Igbo landing mass suicide 1803. Hate that they had to do that, but that's what a lot of us did. We weren't going like that, man. Come on now, we ain't no easy win. We ain't no easy win now. That's why when a group of them see one of us, especially a Israelite man, they get nervous as hell because they think, oh, this is the day payback is gonna come. No, that's up to the Most High. I'm just gonna look at you and smile. As long as you don't get out of place or get disrespectful, you ain't got to worry about getting smacked in the mouth. But if you do get out of place and disrespectful with me or any of my brothers and sisters while I'm around, there's a good chance you're going to get smacked in the mouth. But as long as you be cool and respectful and recognize the true chosen people of the Most High, got no problem with you. That's all. But yeah, Igbo landing mass suicide 1803. Hebrew heroics. Shalom.